Would you join me for the flag salute? I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Dear Father, help us to be receptive to the thoughts and challenges that come to us through prayer, through the printed page, and from the world around us, and help our leaders to find the best solutions to the problems that we face. We ask this in your name. Amen.
Amen.
In compliance with the Open Public Meetings Act, this is to announce that adequate notice of this meeting has been provided. Also pursuant to the 2014 bylaws, rules, and regulations of the Board of Children Freeholders of the County of Burlington, time shall be set aside on the agenda for the receipt of public comments. Public comments will be received with respect to agenda items prior to board consideration of resolutions to be adopted. An additional opportunity for public comment will occur later in the meeting. Public comments shall be limited to 5 minutes per speaker. Unused time may not be transferred to another speaker. Persons may speak once per public comment period. I direct the Deputy Clerk to enter into the minutes of this meeting this public announcement and the advance written notice of this meeting. Freeholder Bellegarde.
Here.
Freeholder Donnelly.
Here.
Freeholder Schwartz.
Here.
And Director Gargano.
Here. This body is looking for a motion of approval of minutes of August 13th, July 9th, and July 23rd.
So moved.
Motion by Freeholder Bellegarde, second.
Second.
Freeholder Donnelly, questions or additions? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions?
I abstain on July, conference meeting of July 23rd.
At this point, we'll move on to item G, which is public comment on agenda items. We have two public comment sections, one for agenda items, which is now, and then at the end for whatever anyone would like to discuss. Mr. Lopez.
Number 2, 7, 15, 24, and 26.
All right.
That's okay.
Item 2 is $120,000 in revenue from New Jersey Transit. That is, it's part of our JARC funding, which would be run through our finance department. 7 is the our standard resolution for award and rejection of contracts, which we can get you a copy of all of the awards and rejections. And I'm going to allow you, that's 16, which we just went through this a little bit ago, but you could probably do it much better than I.
Sure. 16 is for establishing bylaws for the continuum of care, which is a homeless planning oversight body, and they're charged with looking at and planning for the use of $5 and making recommendations for the implementation of the 10-year plan to end homelessness.
And I'm not sure, where were the other ones at?
Freeholder Schwartz is 24, and what was the last one?
24. Yeah, I've got those.
Okay.
I can give a little bit of report, and if Eve, wherever she just wants to jump in. 24 is in regards to a company called, or a group called Little Smiles. And Little Smiles is an organization whose mission is to increase the quality of children's lives by providing dental services to children often left without care. So this will bring dental care to our needy population, to their children. Is there anything else you would like to know about that?
Thank you.
That's what it's for. And then the other 26 is women, infants, and children. It's also to support breastfeeding, which has now become really a national initiative. In the old days, when people gave birth, they were just kind of handed containers of formula. The movement now is back to breastfeeding, and our WIC program will be getting in line with that.
Okay, thank you.
Good. Reverend Pipes?
I'll reserve for the last.
For the other section? Okay.
Thank you.
Any other on agenda items? Seeing none, I'll move on to resolutions. I'd like to make a motion to approve items 1 through 17 by unanimous consent.
Second.
Motion by Gargano, second by Donnelly. Questions?
Yes.
Are you ready?
Yeah, go right ahead.
Okay, great, thank you. So, for resolution number 1, Mr. Troy, I have some questions with regard to the bills. Tell me when you're ready.
I'm ready.
Okay. On page 3, there's a bill there for Alimo Engineering for $35,810. It looks like it's broken into 2 parts, $18,810 and another $17,000. The $18,810 is for professional services, and the other $17,000 is for general engineering and annual. Can you just give me a little bit more detail about both of those entries, please?
I can, Freeholder. The 18,000, the first entry is for engineering for intersection improvements that were done in Mount Laurel on Masonville Road and Creek Road.
Okay.
And the second is has to do with our solid waste, and it's for the payment of their the capacity report that they do for us.
Okay, great. Also on page 3, there's an entry there for the Alice Paul Institute. I have to recuse myself from that. Page 29, there's an entry for environmental resolutions for $2,866.80, if I can speak.
Yes, Freeholder, that's again engineering. That's a mitigation site effort that was done on the Marlton Parkway in Evesham Township.
Okay. Another, I believe, engineering question, which is page 6465, Panoni. There was one entry for $866.10 that just indicated various capital improvements. Can you give me a little bit more detail on that?
Yes, Freeholder, that is again another engineering effort. This was done for a tower site alarm.
For public safety, radio tower.
Public safety.
Okay. All right. And then the only other thing is page 102, the YMCA. I need to recuse myself from that entry. That's all I have on number 1.
Okay,
Can I move along?
please do.
Number 7. So for number 7 with the authorization awarding and/or rejecting contracts, I just need to recuse myself from the contract that's being awarded to Command Company.
Okay.
Number 10.
Can we go back to 7?
Sorry.
I was wondering if Bill could just give us a quick rundown of what those contracts are so that people in the audience don't think we just blindly vote. I know you had sent that to me.
I did send it to you, although I didn't necessarily have
Sorry.
the memory. Perhaps the treasurer
I
can.
do.
Okay,
I'm
just so
Freeholder.
people know what we're voting on.
For all the contracts that were awarded, I can do that. The first one was an award for security site bundling. This is for information technology for our firewalls to make sure we get the latest in terms of software updates, etc. Number 2 was an award to do work at Anderson Farm Park in Delrain Township. And number 3 is basically the request to go out for advertisement in terms of the cafe services at the library.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Number 10. This is probably directed to the back, but I'm just looking for a little explanation on number 10.
Sure, this is for a software product for the jail called Powered EMS. We rolled this out to the Sheriff's Department earlier this year, and we had tremendous success. It's for tracking policies, procedures, and training, so we're legally in compliance with all of the necessary training and the policies that all the employees sign off on the policies and procedures, and it's worked out great for the Sheriff's Office. We're looking forward to rolling that out in the jail.
Okay. And then for number 17, I'm not sure who this gets directed to, but is this just sort of a reallocation of this $20,018?
I can take that,
Yeah.
Holder. Basically, that's exactly what it is. It's a reallocation based on current information that we got from the state. It has to do with the reallocation between the state dollars that we use for the homeless prevention services and the TANF dollars, which is the temporary assistance for needy families. Basically, $20,000 was moved from one area, which is from the state dollars, and that was moved to the TANF category. and there was an additional $1,275 of TANF dollars that were not allocated, and this now allows us to allocate those dollars towards that need.
Okay, but we're not losing or cutting any services?
No.
Okay, great. That is all I have, thank you.
Okay, any other? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
I'm also
Abstentions?
recusing myself from the Alice poll because I'm a member.
And the abstentions as noted. Freeholder Donnelly, would you mind taking Freeholder Howard's
No
also?
problem.
Thank you.
Thank you, Director. At this time, I would move for unanimous consent of resolution items numbered 18 through 23.
Motion by Freeholder Donnelly, second.
Second?
Second by Freeholder Bellegarde. Questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Freeholder Schwartz?
This time, I'd like to move for unanimous consent for items number 24 to items number 30.
Second.
Motion by Freeholder Schwartz, second by Freeholder Donnelly. Questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Questions from the press?
I have a couple. Number 8, what's the addendum?
Yeah, I was just saying, there you go.
Every year, we do service agreements with the courts, and we established a master agreement 2 or 3 years ago. And essentially, we bill back for services that are provided. For example, the courts, they use gasolines that we purchase, they pay us back, the cost of that gasoline. So they also use our print shop, we deliver mail for them, et cetera.
Okay, so this is just a routine adjustment?
It's an annual agreement with them, yes.
Okay. Number 16. Now, I understand that this is the type of plan that HUD requires, continuous updating. My question is the establishment of new bylaws, is that something unusual, or is that part of the routine updating of this plan?
Anna?
How the committee is structured and where it falls within our organization of our oversight body is a change from what's been done in the past. The bylaws, there were prior bylaws under the Human Services Advisory Council. This pulls the continuum of care out from that body and so changes the structure somewhat significantly in terms of its purpose and intent, in accordance with HUD's guidelines and direction on that.
So
it is,
that is something unusual?
it is. It's a change to how the committee is structured. It is not a change really to the function and purpose of the committee.
Okay. Gotcha, thank you. Couple more. Items 24 and 26. Are those new things? Are those new initiatives?
Eve, if not, I'll pull that stuff out. I have the sheets.
No, they're not, neither one of them are new. We've been in agreement for many years for Little Smiles program to facilitate that health responsibility for the WIC families and adopted, and neither is the Shiloh Baptist agreement. That's number 26.
Yeah, okay. Okay, thanks. That's it.
Okay, thank you. We'll move on to item J, which is public comments. Reverend Pikes.
Thank you, Mr. Freeholder Director and members of the board. This is for you, the original, and the copies are for the other members.
Thank you.
I'm not going to read it to you. You can read it for yourself. But I wish we could do business in a more routine way. I find that that's not generally happening. I always feel like I'm swimming against the stream when I come here because I'm trying to get something done that doesn't get done normally. So pardon me if I always seem like I'm trying to advocate, because I am. My letter to you is directed to request a letter of support for 2 applications that our organization is submitting to the State of New Jersey Department of Community Affairs, the Shelter Support Program. It's the only program in the State of New Jersey or the federal government that provides direct money to build facilities or to repair facilities, or to buy facilities, or to operate facilities for the homeless that is specifically for the homeless. Over the last 15 years, we have been successful in bringing in about $1.5 million of money into Burlington County to buy houses, fix up houses, buy furniture, buy vans, and operate our program to provide relief to the homeless who would normally have been living in motels. Last Thursday, the CEAS committee, which operates now as the Continuum of Care, voted to affirm that this request is consistent with the goals of the 10-year plan. The state asks, and you'll see the copy of the page on the third page, to get a letter of support from the mayor or a county official. Once previously, Marianne Reinhardt gave me a letter, was successful in getting us $255,000 to renovate 87 Mill Street, which tonight is serving 5 families. Complete gut renovation, all new electric, all new plumbing, HVAC, insulation, new windows, historic renovation, very nice building, thoroughly updated for another 25 or 30 years of service. The year after that, we were successful in getting Mayor Donnelly from Mount Holly to give us a letter of support, which is now funding the renovation of 209 and 211 Garden Street in Mount Holly, the first mayor of record to support something in his town, probably because he was not running for re-election. But last year, Mayor Wilkie in Florence gave us a letter of support for the renovation of properties in Florence where you live, and I know we've had good support from Florence Township. We're getting another van. We actually took possession of it, and we're starting to make renovations to buildings we already own and operate in that town with their support. These 2 applications would increase the services and the quality of services to residents of Burlington County. It really is not controversial. You see the 4th or 5th page, a letter from Mayor Patriarca, which I got just a couple days ago, who is signing on to support our application for his township. And so I'm simply asking if the freeholders, either as an individual, like Marianne Reinhardt did, or as a board, would simply say to the state of New Jersey what they state in their page on the website: I am in support of this application and will work to integrate this service with others in the community, the county, and the region. It's not really a lot, but it puts you on record of saying this is part of the solution rather than part of the problem. We're asking for $300,000 to build 2 new houses on lots we already own, fully, perfectly legitimate zoning in place for single-family occupancy, no questions about that, and to renovate existing properties that we already own, buy furniture and a van. How controversial can that be? I would hope you could move as a board to give us support for this year's application. Thank you.
Thank you, Reverend. Any other? Louis?
Freeholder of Burlington County. My first question is, what's the status of the repair bridge on the South Burlington across the street from Burlington?
That's Hanover Street, Joe.
Hanover Street is still in the design approval
Right, we're not,
process?
that, and it's also with SHPO, right? I mean, that's a historic bridge.
Yes. But
So we're not-
Final design.
We're in design.
The reason I add is, my friend takes the 217 New Jersey Transit, the bus, well, it doesn't go the street no more. If it did, it will collapse. I want to know the different status.
The status is we're designing a bridge right now to replace that bridge. And I'm confident that we probably reduced the weight on that bridge, the tonnage on that bridge, when we did our inspections to determine that in fact it wasn't capable of handling something that's 20 or 30 tons.
Oh, okay. The second question, you know, I like Amy Barger, I find that you did an excellent challenge. I wish all the freeholders could do the same thing. I know I nominated one person from.
I got your nomination, you posted it. I will be sending a check instead of doing the ice bucket. I don't want to go into cardiac arrest. But Bruce did accept.
Yeah.
I did,
Yep.
I do couldn't find you, your Facebook, so I could tag you in. The first ones of freeholders, Joanne. I did it mine at 11:50 tonight in Burger King. It was fruit, the bucket of fruit with ice, it's a -2 degrees. And dump it, I didn't feel it, then I said, It's a great thing. And I think this for two purposes, for our ants and for slash Ebola virus. We can continue to find new ways to treat our the virus and condition that plaguing our world. And to let just because of when you swim by the East Coast, that's two storm, combining and create tidal wave about 25 feet. And it over killed 3 people already. Just warning. Thank you.
Okay, sir, thank you. Anyone else? Seeing none, we'll move on to Freeholders' comment. Freeholder Bellegarde?
I don't really have much other than I wish everybody a happy, safe, and healthy Labor Day.
Freeholder Schwartz?
Yes, Garfield DeMarco has been in contact with me, and he asked me to withdraw his name for consideration for appointment to the New Jersey Pinelands Commission. However, we know that the one seat is up, or has really expired this past month, so if anybody knows anybody who would like to be considered for appointment to that commission, if they could forward a letter stating their qualifications and why they think they should be on that to each of us, so we will have a copy.
Very good. Freeholder Donnelly?
Happy Labor Day.
Okay. Just a couple quick comments is single streams moving forward now. It looks like we have the 40,000 carts already starting to be delivered. We're about over a week ahead of schedule getting those carts out. So if anybody knows anybody that there's an issue, it's 499-1001. You can call over to our people and they'll make sure it gets worked out. We have people that are reacting to any issues that arise during the time. And at this point, I'd be looking for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Motion by Freeholder Bellegarde, second. Freeholder Donnelly, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.